From Coin Collecting and Detecting, and I've got some 100s, $100 banknotes to be slotting into my banknote folder here today. So, just got 3 here at this stage, so I'll collect some more at some stage, but I have sold a few over the years too. But got a 1985 and a couple of 1992 banknotes here. So, yeah, we'll get these into the folder. So we've got Sir Douglas Mawson on this side and John Tubbett. And actually, I'll go through a little bit of information about both of these two characters in this live stream, so that you know a little bit more about the characters on the note and who they are and why they're on the notes. So first of all, let's get these ones into the folder. So let's go through. So starting from the start, we've got the 10 shillings, more 10 shillings, and then we're into the £1, £5, Commonwealth of Australia, pre-decimal banknotes. Cool, I like those. $1 banknotes. So ones, a few different years. Got a first prefix, I think, in there too, which is cool. Then in the $2 banknotes, a few Commonwealth of Australia, like that. So got some nice ones in there as well, which is cool. $5 banknotes, some of the paper ones, and then some of the earlier polymer notes from 1992, the first year of the polymer. And then the Federation 2001 commemorative banknotes. Got a few of those in nice condition. Still got a couple of those for sale if anyone sees this video before I've sold them. So if you're interested in some of those Federation banknotes in really nice condition, I've got 4 in perfect condition, $35 each. And I think one with just a little bit of a crease across the corner. So that's, I think, $24. So, yep, or it could be 30, 24. Yeah, I think about $24. Reach out to me anyway. Coin Collecting and Detecting at gmail.com is my email address if you're interested in buying a couple of notes. But yeah, $10 notes. Cool. Well, one of those is up for grabs at the moment with that giveaway. So comment on that video on my YouTube channel and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Nice. And then on to the 50s. Got some 50s here. So that is leading up to where we're at. Might leave 1 or 2 pages for any other 50s to put in. Now let's slot in some of these hundreds. So I've got the hundreds here. I'll take off this little sticky note. We're actually going to put that at the bottom of that window. That's to remind me what year it is, so I don't have to look it up each time. Fairly large banknote, so it fills up most of this window here. There we go. Is that pretty straight? Yeah, I think that's pretty straight. Then we've got you stay down. 1992, let's slot that in. Oops, missed the little opening. There we go. And the last one here, 1992. Get that little tag on the bottom. And we'll slot that one in as well. I like these. Some people refer to them as the grey ghosts. I like to call them the grey ghosts too. All right, so there we go. There's the $100 banknotes in the folder, all set to go. But what I'll do is I'll read a little bit of information. So I got this book here from the Reserve Bank. I was in touch with them and they sent this out to me. And it has all of the figures that appear on the banknotes across the years in Australia. So let's get to the $100 banknote section and I'll read out a bit of information. All right, so this is some info here about Sir Douglas Mawson. So this is the $100 banknote that we're talking about, and this is the image. It was from a photograph that was taken on an expedition he was on, and that's the one that appears on the banknote right there. But I'll read some of this information out here. Okay, Sir Douglas Mawson, geologist and explorer. Sir Douglas Mawson, 1882 to 1958. Organised and led the Australian Antarctic Expedition from 1911 to 1914. The expedition mapped the coastal area of Antarctica closest to Australia and established a wireless station on Macquarie Island to facilitate communications with Australia. The expedition's members kept meticulous scientific records, and the 22 volumes of the Australasian Antarctic Expedition scientific reports were published in 1947. During one of the expedition's sledging journeys, Mawson's 2 companions perished. Lieutenant Belgrave Ninus fell through a crevasse and with most of the supplies some 500 kilometres from the base, and Dr. Xavier Mertz died on the return journey. Mawson managed to survive alone with depleted supplies. However, he reflected in his account of the expedition, "I was confronted with this problem. Whether it was better to enjoy life for a few days, sleeping and eating my fill until the provisions gave out, or to plug on, again in hunger, with the prospect of plunging at any moment into eternity." So yeah, plunging through a crevasse like one of his friends had unfortunately done, and then yeah, that'd be the end. He jettisoned unnecessary items and cut his sledge in half to lighten the load. So he got rid of lots of things and just bare minimum, but retained the geological specimens. Mawson was knighted for his achievements by King George V in 1914. The huts used to shelter members of the expedition and their scientific equipment in Antarctica have survived and were placed in the National Heritage List in 2005. Mawson led the British, Australian, New Zealand Antarctic Research Expedition, Bands Air, on board the Discovery from 1929 to 1931. His portrait on the banknote derived from Frank Hurley's photograph of the ship's crew. As Professor of Geology and Mineralogy at the University of Adelaide from 1921 to 1952, Mawson advanced their study in Australia. The contribution was acknowledged on the banknote with an illustration of the geological formations that he studied in the Flinders Ranges, South Australia. So yeah, so these are the geological formations from the Flinders Ranges, which is a mountain range in South Australia where he obviously lived and where he was a teacher at the university. So that's cool. I didn't realise that. I knew it was obviously some sort of formations. I thought it might have been Antarctica, but Flinders Ranges in Adelaide. Cool. Just check to see if there's any comments. Not at this stage. Cool. All right, and then on the other side of the banknote, we have this character down here, John Tubbett. So that's what he appears like on the banknote, and this is what he looked like probably a little bit earlier in life. But here's some information over here about John. Great history. Yeah, it is, isn't it? So it's interesting to find out a little bit of info. So I might do a little bit more content, might do individual videos outside of a live and this sort of information. So John, this is John here. John Tubbett, 1834 to 1916, began to make astronomical observations from a modest wooden observatory that he built on his family property in Windsor, New South Wales. It was followed by the construction of a more substantial observatory, which is represented on the banknote to the right of his portrait, with the earlier observatory to the left. So yeah, if we're looking at the banknote, so that was his earlier construction of his observatory, and this is a later one that was built. So that's what's on the banknote. Cool. All right, we'll continue on. In his astronomical memoirs, Tubbett recalled the first major observation, his first major observation. He detected on the evening of May 13, 1861, while searching the western sky for comets, a faint nebulous object near the star Lacule, probably pronounced that incorrectly, but in his constellation Eridanus. His observations were published in the Sydney Morning Herald and the Empire, which believed that his findings may well excite a feeling of pride and gratification in all who claim Australia as their native or adopted country. Tubbett had become the first astronomer to discover the Great Comet of 1861, which was later named after him. Although he was offered the position of government astronomer for New South Wales, Tubbett continued to work privately and published some 400 papers during his career. In 1973, a crater near the moon's Mare Crisium, Sea of Crisis, was named in his honour. So there you go. And that's who is on the other side of the Australian $100 banknote, which is this one here, the paper banknotes. So Douglas Mawson and John Tubbett on the other side there. A bit hard to see because I can't sort of show it right here. But there we go. That's the $100 notes in the folder, which is cool. I do have some more foreign banknotes to put into my folder too. So at the back of the folder, I've got some of the Zimbabwe banknotes, so $100 trillion, which is pretty cool. $10 trillion, got a few of those. $20 billion, I like the sound of billion. A few US star notes, consecutive stars on the end of these ones. Got 5 of those, and then I've got a US $2 banknote in really nice condition. Excuse me, 1928. And then I've got a few pages here, so I do have some other foreign banknotes I'm going to slot into the back of that folder. So that can be on another live. I'll do another live at some stage, maybe tomorrow, and we'll slot those ones into the folder. That'd be cool. All right then, well, I might sort of leave it there. And I hope you all have a great day or a great night wherever you are. And we'll finish up on what we just slotted in. Here we go. The $100 paper banknotes. Okay, Stuart, how's it going? All right, I'll catch you later, everyone. Have a great night. See ya.